one of the big questions that we had going into this announcement was what's going to happen with Matt Reeves' Batman? What's going to happen with the Joker? What's going to happen now that this DC universe is flipping on its head and starting anew? We didn't really know. Well, James Gunn shed some light on that with announcing that they are officially rebranding the solo standalone movies as DC Elseworlds. Here's what he had to say. As many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time, and it's one of, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure that the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman, Todd Phillips' Joker, or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds outside of the mainstream DC continuity. Now, I'll tell you what I love a lot about this. This gives DC the ability to kind of have their cake and eat it too, because DC, the cinematic universes, they do very well. We've seen that with Marvel. We've seen that with some other, like even the Godzilla and King Kong universe is doing pretty well.
Yeah.
The Monsterverse, thank you. But there is a craving, I think, in the fandom, and I felt it myself, for more of these standalone, separated from universes movies. And by labeling this DC Elseworlds like the comics do, I know that, I have that information that the comics do, we're going to be able to get stories that otherwise would not be able to happen because they wouldn't fit into the universe. And that's a strength that DC, by making this decision, has over Marvel right now. Like a strong strength. What do you think, man? What do you think about this DC Elseworlds idea?
It's a lot to cover, man. It is a lot to cover, but you know what? It's James Gunn, so I can't doubt him. Like, I can't doubt James Gunn. Like, after we had, like, his cultural phenomenons with both Guardians of the Galaxy movies and the Suicide Squad, and also Peacemaker, I can't have any doubts with James Gunn. And with him helming DC and getting out with all these new projects, like, right away, like, that's impressive. Like, and it makes me excited for the future. Like, but it kind of sucks that that some of the stuff that we've gotten out of the DCEU doesn't matter anymore. Like,
well, we'll talk about that in just a second, man. Hold your horses.
But I was meaning something like of Black Adam. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, because they canceled like the sequel, and The Rock's just going off like, why would you do this? Like,
I'm sure he had James Gunn in a headlock and was just like
RKO. He probably just RKO'd James Gunn.
That's the real reason they fired Henry Cavill. They're like, we can't do anything about The Rock, but if we get rid of Henry Cavill, you can't do anything to us.
Nope.
Yeah, that didn't happen. But yeah, I think this is great because I know some people, they were hoping that the Batman would be the start of the DCU and that they would bring Robert Pattinson's Batman into the DCU. I was never on board with that. I didn't want that. I think he works best as a solo character in his own little pocket of a world. Like, I almost want him to be the only superhero that exists in that universe. Like, I don't want a Superman. I don't want a Wonder Woman. I don't want a Green Lantern in the Batman universe.
You definitely don't want a Swamp Thing in there.
You don't want a Swamp Thing in there. We'll find out what that's about in just a minute. But guys, what do you think of this? Are you a fan of DC Elseworlds? Do you like this idea? Are you like, boo, bring the Batman into the DCU? Comment down below. Let us know all your thoughts and opinions on this, guys. And without further ado, let's take a look at what you guys are saying.